Shabbat Shalom. I got to ask the question. I want to hear your comments. Please write me a comment. You saw the 1 million people or so just protesting in Turkey. You see what's going on in Turkey? They're looking at Erdogan as a dictator. They're saying he's like a tyrant, and he's not really aligning with the NATO values and objectives. NATO, the North American Treaty Organization. He's not trying to be like a North American. He's trying to be like a Islamist expansionist, like the Ottoman Turks, and so we're not in the time of Turkey, and they're bringing all these soldiers to Syria, to our border. I'm kind of getting worried what is going on. I mean, Erdogan aims to revive an Ottoman era level of influence on all kinds of nations, and it's not what Ataturk would have wanted. Turkey has deviated from the secular kind of republic, the Western type country that Ataturk was building, and you have him really, he said, what does he call himself, the prince or the Mahdi or the Messiah of Islam? And I just don't know, but there's a super huge Islamist extremist resurgence with the Muslim Brotherhood, who are the ones who gave birth to Hamas. So you see why I'm a little worried. And aggressive actions in Libya, Syria, and the Caucasus signal a willingness to redraw borders. Just like, I don't know what's going to happen. Egypt and the United Arab Emirates are combating this Turkish push, and you know that in the book of Ezekiel, one of the areas listed in the Gog and Magog, you have Turkey is one of those areas, and they have all this naval aggression going on, and France is opposing Turkey's expansion in Libya and Syria, and so I just wonder what's going to happen. And it's not just soft power. We're talking, there is a need to counter them, to contain them, maybe using finances. Maybe getting them out of NATO. So Israel's plan is clear. Eliminate Hamas. Make sure every border is safe, including the Syria border. And we're going to do that, and we're going to do it now. And that includes encouraging the voluntary immigration, or not immigration, but voluntary, whatever Gazan wants to leave, we'll try to make sure by ship, by plane, we'll try to make sure that they can leave. They know Hamas destroyed their homes. They know it's not Israel's fault. They know Hamas is the one who started this whole thing. They know Hamas massacred us. And they know Hamas started this war and continued the war and broke the ceasefire by not just releasing the hostages. And they want, some of these people just really want Hamas out. And I bet if there was a sign that says, all aboard, whoever wants to leave Gaza Strip, you'd have 99% of the Palestinians packing. I think so. And Israel's talking about where these Gazans could go. What country could they go to? Maybe Indonesia, maybe Sudan. It's hard to say. No one's being forced, but everyone needs to know that we are serious about not just rebuilding Gaza so another generation will be raised in hate and violence, and it just can't happen. The only future for Gaza is a future without Hamas and without the Iranian bases, few kilometers from our capital and right on our border. It just can't happen. Israel has to retain control of parts of Gaza. If you ask me, I'd say the whole thing. We should control the whole entire thing. Yes, and we're looking at Arab states to join with us and to rebuild it. And Trump is doing the same thing to see who's going to give money to rebuild this, but on our terms, maintaining security so we don't have these hostage situations and this murder and again the brutal. And there's still 59 Israeli hostages, 29 of them alive or so. We've rescued some of them, some by military, some by, just negotiations. But I don't think negotiations are going to work with Iran. They got their centrifuges spinning. They got high hopes for them isotopes. They want a nuclear weapon. They want to have hegemony. You know that word? It means they want to be the bosses of everything. They've got so much uranium. I wouldn't be surprised if next week we see a real concerted effort to remove their nuclear aspirations. It's not a game, friends. A race to an atomic bomb. This is like something out of a movie. And people are taking sides. People are taking sides all over the world, in every country, even Western countries. Even in New York City, 39 anti-Semitic hate crimes were recorded in 1 month. More than all the other hate incidents combined against Jewish people. What does every Jewish person have to have a bodyguard with him? They have to hide they're Jewish. And it's just wrong. After October 7th, when we started to defend ourselves, I feel it's just gotten worse. I think what I have to say is there is truly a need to come together, not be divided. Western, Jewish people that are in the United States or in Hollywood or another place in the world, we all need to come together in this time, not be divided. It's not the time to be divided. It's the time to speak up. It's time to stand up. And we can't have this word progressive, liberal, be a word that means Israel needs to die. And Israel needs to not win this war and not restore security fully and completely. This is the time. And you see in democratic areas, sometimes people want to just be popular or they don't want to stand out. But I'm saying Jew, Christian, anyone who stands up for what's right, stand now and stand in solidarity for the Jewish homeland, for the Jewish people, and don't have any double standards. Zechariah 10 verse 5 says, they will be like mighty men in battle, trampling the enemy in the mud of the streets in the battle. They will fight because the Lord is with them, and they will put to shame the riders on horses.